I'm not sure how to adjust my approach to make it more comfortable for him to listen. I want to give you one sentence right here that hopefully will serve as your answer. Okay, guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're a parent and your child is struggling, maybe you have a toddler, maybe a little older, and they're struggling with handling big emotions, then today's video is for you. We're going to talk about how we can, as parents, de-escalate a situation, how we can regulate our own emotions, and then I'll give you some tricks and tips on how to communicate these big emotions with your kids. Here's a mother or a father, or here's a parent who asked this question. Needs some advice with my almost 3.5-year-old. Lately, when he's having big emotions, I will bring him to me and try to help him. I usually say something along the lines of, it sounds like you're feeling X. It's okay to feel that. And I'm going to take a closer look. I'm going to take a look around, take some deep breaths. You can join me. That's when he starts screaming at me to stop talking or that he won't tell me anything. Okay, let's stop there for a second. And if you are in the situation, first of all, this is a fantastic thing. This is a type of a sentence pattern that I teach parents to use and that I use with my family, and I have it in a PDF that I'll put below. But it's a sentence pattern that works because you are validating your child's emotions. And that is so much better than what the typical go-to response of parents is. And it's understandable, but it's, oh, don't be so sad. Don't feel bad. Don't cry. And whereas those emotions usually come from a good place, we don't want our children to be sad. We want our children to be happy. We want our children to grow. We want our children to be confident. And it hurts us when they are sad. So our response usually is the same response that we got from our past generations of, don't be sad. Don't cry. We often do this with friends too and other people. Don't be sad. Don't cry. And if you just switch roles and put yourself in their shoes and even maybe remember back to when somebody told you that sort of thing, it probably didn't land very well because we didn't feel validated in our emotions, or we felt like we were doing something wrong. It could lead to guilt. It could lead to, me thinking, what's wrong with me? So I want to acknowledge this parent for saying this. It sounds like you're feeling X. It's okay to feel that. And if you want to take that, write that down and put it somewhere so that you remember that exact sentence and use it as a script, that will serve you greatly. Again, like I said, I'll put in some more down below, but that's a fantastic sentence pattern. And the parent who is doing this, whether it's the person who wrote or if you're doing this, I want to first acknowledge you, and I want you to acknowledge yourself. Many parents miss out on acknowledging themselves for great decisions and for healthy decisions that they make. And it's easy for us to look at the times that we make mistakes or anything. I want you to take a second and acknowledge yourself for empowering your child. You see, normally when tantrums happen, when breakdowns happen, when meltdowns happen, when blowups happen, it's because either us as the parent or the child isn't feeling one of three things. And it comes down to these three questions. Am I feeling seen? Am I feeling heard? Am I feeling validated? These three questions are usually, one of these three questions is usually hanging underneath the surface in these moments when we're out of control, because those are the core fundamental feelings that we need to feel, right? Am I being seen? Am I being heard? Am I being validated? Those are very powerful. If you get to those, then it makes regulating a situation that much easier, right? So let's take a look. Let's continue And before continuing, if you're finding value in this video and you want to see more videos like it, hit the subscribe button and click the bell so you get updated every time I share a new lesson and I help another parent. I'm going to take a look around, take some deep breaths, and you can join me. I love this so much because this parent, this isn't direction, this isn't instruction, this isn't telling them what to do. It's saying what you are doing, and then you're inviting them to join along. And we're going to get to the part now where they feel it might be breaking down. That's when he starts screaming at me and to stop talking, and he won't tell me anything. Okay. Even once he has calmed down and we're processing through what happened, he will still tell me, he won't tell me anything. Okay. Now, here's a secret part of this that may have gone unsaid. By him saying that, he's actually giving you a lot of information. I won't tell you anything. That's telling you something. That's telling you how he feels. So that's giving you a little insight on what's going on inside, meaning it could be because of, many things. It could be because, my guess is probably because he doesn't understand these emotions, right? He doesn't understand what's going on. So he almost can't. Even if he wanted to, he couldn't explain it. Now, I would ask this parent, is he normally a perfectionist? Does he need to get everything right in order to do something? Does he have to feel perfectly confident? Because if he does, and he doesn't really know what these big emotions are, that could be a reason he's not going to tell you anything. But I want to give you some encouragement that him saying, I won't tell you anything, is giving you a lot of information, right? And that's opening up, right? It's much better than the silent treatment, which some parents might be facing that, which that's some information too. But he's telling you, I won't tell you anything. Okay, that's telling me something. That's a crack in the communication door. And if you shift your perspective and see it in that way, it could be a lot more encouraging for us as parents. And what we're doing as parents, we are acting as leaders. And what leaders want is more information to make correct decisions, to help empower those that are following us, that are under our leadership, through our own actions and behaviors, through our own way, and helping them find their way, right? So it's not all about always having the right answers, but it's about being a leader and leading others to feel empowered, right? So let's keep that in mind as we continue. I've told him many times in and out of those moments that I love him and he can tell me anything and I will always listen to him. I'm not sure how to adjust my approach to make it more comfortable for him to open up. And I want to answer this question. I'm not sure how to adjust my approach to make it more comfortable for him to listen. I want to give you one sentence right here that hopefully will serve as your answer. And that's, you do not need to adjust your approach. I don't feel, based on the information that I have here, based on the information that I'm seeing right here in this situation and the way that you are phrasing this question, you see, I answer a lot of these questions and the same thing as I told you with I won't tell you anything is giving information. A lot of people who ask these types of questions, they are sharing a lot more information than they realize they're sharing. And it's in their approach, it's in how they communicate their question, how they are describing the situation, the role that they are playing. You see the 4 fundamental roles that we can play. And we've talked about this before: the hero, the villain, the victim, or the guide. In a lot of these questions, it's a victim mindset. Whereas here, it's largely a guide mindset. And that's our position as leaders of the family. So how to adjust my approach? Dude, don't. Keep in mind, parenting is a long-term game. parenting is a long-term game. What we're doing, we're planting seeds into our children, and then we're watering them and nurturing them, and they might not flower for years or longer down the road. And that's what we're parenting for. We're not always going to have a magic moment that happens in the moment, right? Maybe, and what I guess will happen if you continue with this approach, then eventually in a few weeks, in a few months, in a few days, whatever, one day when they're going through these big emotions, and I love that you call it big emotions because they are. If you think about it, there are often, how many times do you face the times when you're just feeling yucky? You're feeling down, you're having a bummer day, and you don't know why. And it's okay to feel that way. And sometimes you don't want to tell anyone anything. Sometimes you don't want to talk about it. But through experience, and we're older, we can kind of communicate that. I don't want to talk about it right now, right? But at 3.5, they don't have that experience. They don't have that to fall back on, right? Those communication skills, and those are the skills that we're teaching, right? So how to adjust my approach? I wouldn't. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep validating his emotions. Keep validating that it's okay to feel that. Keep keeping yourself open for conversation. Keep making a comfortable connection and an open path for him to open up to you when he's comfortable. Keep reminding him of that. Don't adjust your approach. Keep at this. But the one thing I would adjust is your own self-confidence and showing yourself more grace in the wisdom that you're demonstrating. That's what I would adjust here. It's within yourself, parenting yourself, having confidence in yourself, owning yourself and your own decisions. You're doing an awesome job. And like I said, you'll find resources below. I have a lesson. If these generational cycles, if your parents, unfortunately didn't have the tools to help you manage these big emotions, and we all have generational cycles, cultural cycles from our upbringing and the area, the country, the space, the world we were brought up in. And we want to break those cultural cycles. We want to break those generational cycles. In the pinned comment, you'll see a lesson. It's free on a 3-step process to break those generation and cultural cycles so that you can take control of how your kids are raised. Check that out below. Free. Just let me know where to send it. I appreciate you. Keep up the great work. See you in the next one.